Okay, so in this video, we're going to focus on factorization, common factor, but something called changing signs. This involves when or refers to when you factor out a negative 1. Now, this whole process depends upon the understanding of division of integers. For example, if you had a positive divided by a positive, that would give you a positive answer. A positive divided by a negative will give you a negative answer. A negative divided by a positive will give you a negative answer. And finally, a negative divided by a negative will give you a positive answer. So it comes from this concept over here. When you factor out a negative 1, then through the process of common factor or highest common factor, you end up dividing all your terms by a negative 1, which results in their sign changing. As you can see, if you divide a positive by a negative, it, it changes from a positive to a negative. And if you divide a negative by a negative, it changes from a negative to a positive. So let's have a look at this one here. We have negative 5x minus 10. Alright, we're gonna first factor out a negative 1. Okay, let's actually change this question to negative 5x minus 12. Alright, now if you factor out a minus 1, then this is what's gonna happen. You have a minus 1 bracket and everything will stay the same. You'll have your 5x and you'll have a 12, but the sign is gonna change. So all that's gonna change. So the negative will be a positive and negative will be a positive. That's all that happens. Let's try doing that now with your highest common factor. We've looked into this before in our last video, but let's have a look again. So the highest common factor here first between 3 and 6 is, well, 3. And we're gonna pull out a negative because remember we said when the first term is negative, we pull out a negative sign. So if you do that, negative 3, and now if you go ahead and do negative uh, 3a divided by your highest common factor negative 3, your answer is going to be negative divided by negative is positive, 3 divided by 3 is 1a. So you've got positive 1a, but you don't need to write positive 1. And maybe the a should be a bit bigger. And then for your second term, you'll have 6b divided by negative 3. And that's going to give you positive divided by negative is negative. 6 divided by 3 is 2b. So a minus 2b. So let's look at that again. We pull out a negative, and what resulted was that the sign of our terms changed. So the negative 3a became a positive a, and the positive 6b became a negative 2b. Let's check it on a larger scale with the trinomial. We're not going to actually factorize the trinomial. We're not being tested on that here. We're not learning that here. There is a video focusing on trinomials, but for this video, we're going to focus on highest common factor combined with factoring out a negative 1. So your highest common factor is 5, and we're going to pull out a negative 5 because our first term is negative. So negative 5 open brackets close bracket. Let's divide. Negative 15x squared divided by negative 5 is gonna give you negative divided by negative is positive. 15 divided by 5 is 3x squared. The next one is positive 20x. So positive divided by positive is positive divided by negative is negative. 20 divided by 5 is 4x. And the last one is our negative 25. So negative divided by negative is positive, and 25 divided by 5 is 5. So let's recap that question. The negative turns to a positive, the positive turned to a negative, and a negative turned to a positive. And everything was divided by our factor of 5. And that's your trinomial that you'll try and solve. Let's have a look at something of this nature now. 4 minus x. Now, I want you to remember something, alright? Uh, Let me just move this a bit down. So when we're factorizing, it's nice to arrange our expression with the highest exponent of x being first. So in this case, this one doesn't have an x, so it's x to the power 0. So x to the power 1 would automatically be higher. So I'm going to rearrange that as negative x. This has an invisible plus, so it will be plus uh, plus 4. So I took the negative with the variable on the right and the positive with the 4. So negative x plus 4. And now I realize that I need to pull out a negative in this situation. So I can pull out a negative, open brackets, close brackets. And if you remember it, all that's going to happen is the sign is going to change. The negative x is going to become positive and the positive 4 is going to become negative. So this is a very useful skill when you want to swap these two and have a negative in the middle. It's 4 minus x becomes x minus 4 with a negative outside. Let's apply it to this one now. How will it look with a question like this? So let's start by rearranging, obviously. So inside our bracket we'll have negative y this here and plus 3. And then on the next line, see the 2 does already exist outside our bracket, so I'm not going to do anything to it. But I am going to factor out a negative sign, and that leaves me with y minus 3 because we just changed the signs inside the bracket, and that is factorized. So that's all we have on changing signs. It's not a difficult thing, it's just something that we have to understand. It's a useful skill.